No, no, you got to go back now and say, why was the NFL continuing to support with all the confusion going on in the media? And maybe it's all of that found money right there.
And then out of nowhere came these young children. I don't know where they came from. And I sat next to this child, and the child sat next to Beyonce. So I hear B say something about,
after we found out why Beyonce made a lot of the songs that she did and for what reasons, I am not shocked one bit to find out that Jay-Z is allegedly listed in the Epstein file.
All right, so let's talk about what's really going on here, because this situation is absolutely spiraling out of control. And honestly, it's getting messier by the day. So 50 Cent is not letting up at all. If you've been following him on social media lately, you know he's been going after Jay-Z and Beyonce with the kind of relentless energy that only 50 has. And it's not just random shots anymore. He's throwing out some serious implications, hinting that Beyonce might actually be tangled up in the whole Epstein mess. Yeah, that Epstein. Now, whether he's serious or just stirring the pot for clicks, we don't know yet, but he's definitely got people talking. And here's where things get really uncomfortable. Jay-Z's name has allegedly popped up in documents connected to Jeffrey Epstein. Now, before anyone jumps down my throat, let me be clear that these are allegations. But according to reports floating around online, a woman came forward claiming she woke up inside Epstein's mansion. And she says Jay-Z and Harvey Weinstein were there. I'm not saying it's true. I'm saying that's what's being claimed. And whether it holds water or not, the internet is running wild with it. Of course, 50 Cent saw this and immediately jumped online. The man doesn't sleep, I swear. He starts posting about how he wants to make a full-blown documentary connecting Jay-Z to Epstein. He's out here saying stuff like, yeah, I might do a doc on this. And suddenly the whole internet is in a frenzy. Screenshots are flying. Memes are being made. It's chaos. But then things get even weirder because word starts going around that Beyonce's legal team got involved. Allegedly, and again, allegedly, lawyers were sent to warn 50 Cent to back off, to stop posting about Jay-Z and Epstein. And here's the kicker. The Shade Room, one of the biggest gossip pages out there, quietly deleted their post about the whole thing. No explanation, just gone. Now you tell me that doesn't look suspicious. And speaking of suspicious, where are all the major outlets? TMZ, People Magazine, Us Weekly, Complex, Billboard? They've been radio silent, not a peep. For a story this explosive involving two of the biggest names in music, you'd think someone would be covering it. But nope, nothing. It's like they're all waiting for it to blow over. Maybe the Carters thought it would. Spoiler alert, it didn't. Because here's the thing about 50 Cent. When you threaten him, when you try to intimidate him, he doesn't back down. He doubles down. Hard. So after hearing about these alleged legal warnings, what does he do? He posts again, this time with a cryptic little message that basically translates to, Beyonce, you might want to sit this one out. The audacity, the pettiness, classic 50. Then he drops this AI-generated video of himself with a caption that says something like, I smell beef and popcorn. Translation, drama's brewing, and he's here for every second of it. He's practically daring them to come at him again. Now people are genuinely starting to wonder, what if 50 actually does make this documentary? Remember what he did with Diddy? He dug deep. He brought receipts. He didn't hold back. So if he goes after the Carters with that same energy, what's he gonna find? And more importantly, what's he gonna expose? Which brings us to the big question everyone's asking. Can Beyonce actually stop him? Does she have that kind of power? Because based on the way the internet's reacting, most people seem to think she can't. And if she can't, then what? Naturally, fans are starting to speculate about everything. Some are saying Beyonce should distance herself, get out while she still can. There's even talk about divorce. Like, maybe she should just cut ties with Jay and protect her own name. But here's where it gets complicated. Because a growing number of people online aren't buying the innocent bystander narrative. They're starting to believe that Beyonce knew, that she was involved, that she's not some helpless victim in all this. And if that's true, then divorce isn't happening. Not now, not ever. There's this theory floating around that Jay-Z and Beyonce stay together because they have dirt on each other, mutual secrets, things that, if exposed, would destroy both of them. So they're locked in, bound together not by love, but by self-preservation. And honestly, given everything we're seeing, it doesn't sound that far-fetched. And it's not like this is the first time Beyonce's been accused of shady behavior. There have been whispers for years about her allegedly sabotaging other female artists, blocking their opportunities, keeping them from rising. And then there are the darker rumors, the ones involving black magic, rituals, sacrifices. Yeah, it sounds insane, but people have been saying this stuff for a long time. Take Larry Johnson, for example. Former NFL player. He came forward talking about this party he went to back in the early 2000s, a party allegedly hosted by Jay-Z and Beyonce, and according to him, The vibe was off. He claims there were people there who looked way too young. Inappropriate comments being made. The whole thing sounded deeply uncomfortable.
Now, I did a Rockaware photo shoot in Colorado, and I think it was during the winter time of 06 or 07. And Naomi Campbell was there, actress Jamie King was there, Jay was there, B was there, and he rented this house. We were supposed to do this rap party for this photo shoot. We rented this house, and we were watching LeBron play. And after the game, it had to have been like 10 or 11 o'clock. So we getting ready to party. Mind you, it's all adults. There was a 13-year-old or a 14-year-old teenage Latin girl that was there, and I think she had to leave because she had school and she had to do homework, but she brought her mother with her. So it was no funny business going on, which I could respect that. So when 11 o'clock hit, we turned on the music, we started drinking, and then out of nowhere came these young children. I don't know where they came from. For a rap party at 11 o'clock at night, drinking, loud music, and us dancing wild, like, I don't know where these kids came from. And then I happened to sit down because I was dancing with one of the assistants. And I sat next to this child, and the child sat next to Beyonce. So I hear B say something about, doesn't this look sexy, or isn't this sexy? And in my mind, and mind you, I'm not awakened as I'm awakened now. So in my mind, I'm like, what did she just say? And then I didn't pay no attention to it. And then, you know, obviously the liquor took hold of me and I had to leave. So I said bye to everybody and left. But those kids remained. I don't know if those kids were from the photo shoot themselves, but the fact that these kids came around adults during drinking hours or partying hours was already alarming.
Now, again, this is his account, but it adds to the pile of strange stories. Then you've got the witchcraft angle. And look, I know how that sounds, but these allegations aren't coming from random trolls. They're coming from people who allegedly worked closely with Beyonce, people who were there. In 2018, Kimberly Thompson, Beyonce's former drummer, publicly accused her of practicing extreme witchcraft. She was so serious about it that she filed for a restraining order.
This has been going on since 2006, and it's just been getting worse and worse and worse. And for a very long time, I put this person on a pedestal. I love them. I send emails, publicly, happy birthday and all this stuff. And the entire time, this person was casting spells and manipulating me and controlling my job situations, my relationships, just all kinds.
Let that sink in. This wasn't some internet rumor. This was an actual legal filing. Then there's Ashley Everett, one of Beyonce's dance captains. She started liking posts on social media that were, let's just say, not flattering. One post suggested that Beyonce's music literally entertains demons. Now, whether Ashley believes that or was just being messy, who knows? But it definitely raised eyebrows. And then we have Khadija Cherie, another former dancer. She went on Instagram and made some absolutely shocking claims about Beyonce. Allegations involving her own child. Serious, disturbing accusations. And just like that, the post disappeared, deleted, gone. But Tasha K, bless her messy soul, grabbed the screenshots before it vanished. She put it all out there, showed the receipts, talked about it publicly.
Beyonce is being accused again of doing black magic. Now here's what I'm gonna say. Everybody ain't lying. I spent probably a week doing research on all the people that they were connected with. And all of them are connected to some sort of black magic, some sort of witchery. Okay? This is an ex-dancer of hers, and now we remember the ex-drummer that came out, and we call her crazy too. We got the interview of the drummer. Y'all remember her? And she was saying that Beyonce was using witchcraft and all that stuff, and it always comes out around the time when she getting ready to cipher for a new album. I know Beyonce's a witch. I saw the Lemonade visuals. I saw it. I said, this is dark.
So even though the original post is gone, the internet never forgets. Now, I have to say this clearly. None of this is proven. These are allegations, claims, accusations, not confirmed facts. But here's the thing. When it's one person saying something crazy, you can brush it off. When it's multiple people over multiple years, all saying similar things, at some point, you have to ask, is this just coincidence? Or is there a pattern here? And who's really pulling the strings? Because let's be real, do we actually think Jay-Z and Beyonce are the ones calling all the shots? Or are they just the faces, the brand? What if there are people behind the scenes, shadowy figures with real power, people we don't even know about? Kanye hinted at this years ago. He talked about how celebrities are controlled, blackmailed, kept in line. He suggested that Jay-Z and Beyonce might be puppets themselves.
You know what I'm saying? They can control Shaq. They can control Charles Barkley. They can control LeBron James. They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Not you, man.
But they can't control me. So out in Hollywood, a lot of people come up missing. Feels like it might be a lot of that in order to control, traumatize. They want to monetize and traumatize.
And at the time, people laughed it off. But now it doesn't seem so crazy. Because look at what's happening. Epstein links, media blackouts, legal threats flying around, old allegations crawling back to the surface. The cracks in the Carter empire are starting to show. And once the public starts to turn on you, once that perception shifts, it's almost impossible to come back from. So the real question is, can they recover from this? Or is it already too late? Because right now, the internet is making up its mind. And once people decide you're guilty, whether you are or not, that stain doesn't wash out. So here's what I want to know from you. Do you think Beyoncé is innocent in all this? Was she manipulated, controlled, just trying to survive? Or was she a willing participant? Did she know exactly what was going on and chose to stay silent? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about it. And stick around, because this story is far from over. Trust me, there's more coming. You're not going to want to miss what happens next.